Most people believe a spousal social security benefit is half of what their husband or wife actually receives. It isn't. It's half of a number that may never appear on his check at all, and the difference can run several $100s a month for the rest of your life. Right now, about 2.1 million Americans collect Social Security as the spouse of a retired worker. The average payment is just under $1,000 a month. Many of those people planned around a bigger figure because someone told them to expect half of their spouse's check. There are 3 conditions written into the rules that almost nobody mentions. One of them can disqualify you completely. You can be married over 62 and still receive nothing as a spouse, no matter how long you wait. Let's walk through all 3 slowly. Meet Carol. She's 64, so her full retirement age is 67. That's the age for everyone born in 1960 or later. Her husband Dan earned more. At his own full retirement age, Dan's benefit would be $2,400 a month. That figure has a name in the regulations. It's called the Primary Insurance Amount, or PIA. Everything we're about to do hangs on it. Dan decides to wait until 70. Every month he delays past his full retirement age, earns a delayed retirement credit. 8% a year for anyone born 1943 or later. 3 years of waiting is 24%. $2,400 plus 24% comes to just under $3,000 a month. So Carol gets half of that. Roughly $1,500 a month? No. The regulation says her benefit equals 1/2 of his primary insurance amount. His PIA never changed. It's still $2,400. Half of that is $1,200 a month. That's a gap of just under $300 every month, about $3,500 a year, and it exists for one reason. Delayed retirement credits belong to the worker. The rule says plainly that those credits are not used to increase the benefits of other family members on the record. Now here's where it turns in your favor. Suppose Dan had claimed early instead, at 62 cutting his own check by 30%, down to about $1,680. Carol's spousal benefit does not fall with him. It's still 1/2 of his primary insurance amount. Still $1,200. His early claim damages his check. It doesn't touch hers. The second condition is Carol's own age, and this one costs real money. If she claims at 62, 5 years early, the benefit is reduced in 2 stages. For the first 36 months, it's 25/36 of 1% per month. That's 25%. For each of the 24 months beyond those, it's 5/12 of 1% a month, another 10%. 35% off in total. $1,200 minus 35% is $780 a month. Wait until 67 and she gets the full $1,200. That's $420 a month more, just over $5,000 a year, for the same marriage and the same earnings record. And this is the part that catches people. If Carol waits past 67, hoping to grow it further, she gains nothing. Not $1. Delayed retirement credits apply to your own retirement benefit. They never apply to a spousal benefit. It reaches its ceiling at your full retirement age and stops. Every month she waits, after that is a payment she simply doesn't collect. The third condition surprises women most, and it's the one that can zero you out. Carol worked. Not 40 unbroken years, she stepped out to raise children, came back part-time. Her own benefit at full retirement age is $900 a month. Does she collect her $900 plus $1,200 as a spouse? No. Social Security pays her own benefit first, then adds a top-up. The top-up is the difference between half of Dan's PIA and her own full retirement age amount. $1,200 minus $900 is $300. So at 67 she receives $900 plus $300. $1,200. The spousal side lifts her to the ceiling. It never stacks on top of it. Claim early and each half is cut separately. At 62 her own $900 is reduced 30% to $630. The $300 top-up is reduced 35% to $195. $630 plus $195 is $825 a month, against $1,200 at 67. Now the condition itself in the words of the rule. You are not entitled to a spousal benefit if your own primary insurance amount equals or exceeds one half of the worker's. Half of Dan's is $1,200. Had Carol's own figure been $1,300 instead of $900, she'd receive no spousal benefit at all. Not reduced. None. And waiting wouldn't change it because the test compares two full retirement age numbers and neither one moves with your claiming date. 2 more requirements, quickly. Dan has to have filed before Carol can claim on his record. You can't claim on a spouse who hasn't started. And they must have been married at least one continuous year. If they divorced instead, the marriage must have lasted 10 years, and after 2 continuous years, divorced, she can claim even if Dan never files. Her benefit doesn't reduce his, and it doesn't reduce a new wife's either. One more thing, and for women this is the big one. Everything so far concerns a living spouse. Survivor benefits work on completely different arithmetic. As a widow, Carol could receive up to 100% of what Dan was actually collecting. Delayed retirement credits included. The 24% Dan earned by waiting was worth nothing to her as a wife. As a widow, it's worth everything. Same delay. Valued 2 entirely different ways. So here's the clean answer. Find 2 numbers on your Social Security statements. Your full retirement age amount and your spouse's. Halve theirs. If yours is smaller, that difference is your ceiling and you reach it at your full retirement age, not a month later. If yours is larger, there's no spousal benefit in your future and the question disappears. Both figures rise with the annual cost of living adjustment. 2.8% for 2026. So the comparison doesn't drift. Where this doesn't fit. If your spouse has died, you're under survivor rules, not these. If you have a public pension from work that didn't pay into Social Security, the offset that used to cut spousal benefits was repealed. So advice you were given years ago may now be wrong. And this is general education, not guidance about your situation. Your own statement is the only place your real numbers live. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. If this video gave you something to think about, do one small thing. Subscribe to Retirement Decisions Desk. Every video here unpacks one retirement decision, and subscribing is how you'll never miss the next one. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video.